Hello dear students, welcome back. In our lesson today, we're going to do some writing. More specifically, we're going to see how to write a letter of complaint. When do we write a letter of complaint? When we want to show our dissatisfaction about something specific, something that we have bought, something that we have seen, or a service that we have taken. So we write this letter to show that we don't agree, we don't like something, and of course we want something from them. So we express our dissatisfaction about a specific problem. Of course, the style is formal and impersonal. There's nothing personal with them. It's not that we have a problem with them personally. Of course, we might complain. This doesn't mean that we are going to insult them. So, even if we don't like a service that we got or something that we bought, we should never insult the person that we are writing to. So we have to be very polite and formal. Now, first of all, which is the structure of writing a letter of complaint? We're going to start greeting them. How do we greet? Dear Sir or Madam, or Dear Mr. Brown, for example, if we know the person. Then we continue with the introduction. So the first paragraph, we state the reason why we are writing this letter. So I'm writing this letter to complain about something that I bought, for example. We continue with the main body. We write the first complaint, so something that was torn, for example, or something that wasn't the same color since I bought something, for example, and we give the justification for that particular reason. That was the second paragraph. In the third paragraph, we continue with the second complaint and justification by giving some details of what we didn't like or what we weren't satisfied with. We continue with the conclusion. What do we want from them to be done? We want from them to give our money back, so we want to get a refund. We want a replacement. We want something else. We need to write it down. What do we want to be done? And in the end, of course, we sign off with our name, yours faithfully or yours sincerely, depending on how we start the letter. So again, we said, first we start with the greeting. If we don't know the name of the person that we are writing, we start with Dear Sir or Madam, and we end the letter by saying yours, how? Yours faithfully, when we don't know the name. If we know the name, we say Dear Mr. Brown, for example, and we end the letter by saying yours sincerely. We should make this division. We should be very careful when we don't know or when we know the name of the person that we are addressing. We started, and now we're going to continue with the opening remarks. So in the first paragraph, if the tone is mild, so it's okay, I bought something and I want to replace it, for example, then our tone is mild, is not that strong. So we can say, I'm writing to complain about something. I'm writing regarding that pair of trousers that I bought. I'm writing because of the service that I got in your hotel. I'm writing to draw your attention to something specific, or I'm writing in connection with this specific subject. But if we are really dissatisfied with them, then our tone might be a little bit stronger. And we can say, I was appalled at your service in this hotel. Or I want to express my strong dissatisfaction with what I bought. Or I feel I must protest. Or I feel I must complain about something specific. So depending on how dissatisfied I am, I might use the mild form or the stronger form, but never insulting. You shouldn't forget that. Now, we have complaints and we said every time a justification. For example, I still haven't received the goods I ordered in spite or despite the fact that I sent you a check 3 weeks ago. So, I have the complaint and I've got the justification. Or, although or even though I have only used the automatic tin opener once, it no longer works. I have written to you twice, but you have not taken any action. So, I'm giving my complaint and I justify it. Or, I have already written to you twice, nevertheless, or however, you have not taken any action. After saying the first complaint, I might continue with the other one by saying in addition to that, or furthermore, or what is more. And so I continue with, I finish the second paragraph and the third paragraph. Now, let's practice a little bit. How can I join the sentences when I've got the ideas in my head? I called your store several times. So, although we can say, I called your store several times, I have not had a reply. So we put the linking word, although, at the very beginning, and then I continue with my sentence. Another one. I only bought the kettle last week. It has stopped working. You can put the time expression even though at the very beginning. So, even though I bought the kettle last week, it has stopped working. So we cannot say that we are going to continue with the sentences without time expressions. We have to be very careful. The third one, your engineer called for the third time in the past 2 weeks. I am still without a working machine. So we have this now linking word. In spite of the fact, or in spite of the fact that your engineer called for the third time in the past 2 weeks, I am still without a working machine. So we are linking the two sentences together in just one sentence using linking words like although or even though or in spite of. Let's move on. Now we're going to see how we can close this letter. If we started with a mild tone, then of course we're going to use a mild tone at the ending. But if our tone was stronger, again we have to close with a stronger tone. So, in the end, what did we say? We state what do we want from them to be done. I hope you will replace these trousers with another pair, or I trust the situation will improve, or I hope that the matter will be resolved. But if we want a stronger tone, we are really dissatisfied. I insist you replace the item at once. I demand a full refund of my money. I hope that I will not be forced to take further action. Again, we try not to be insulted. Okay, let's move on now. We have got now a letter, we have got a model, let's say, something that has been written by a student. Whenever you start writing, you should always correct yourselves. You will see that just because we are in a hurry, we make some mistakes that you can correct yourselves. So you are going to see that you can correct these mistakes. And why are they mistakes? Depending on the spelling, there might be spelling mistakes, there might be grammatical mistakes. You have to be very careful. So we have this letter of complaint. We start, dear sir or madam, because we don't know the person that we are addressing. I wrote. He's using a past simple. Why? No, I'm doing this now. So I am writing to complain. What is the preposition? To complain about, of course. A washing machine. What? It is an object. So what? So a washing machine, which, of course, I recently not took from your company, but we have to use a much more advanced vocabulary. Something that I purchased, that I bought from your company. When I used the machine for the first time, can we say properly it worked? We have here a mistake in the order. So it properly worked. And the clothes not come in the present simple, but the clothes came in the past simple, came out properly. They came out clean and fresh. That was something positive. So for the first time, everything was okay. When I used the machine the second time, it seemed to have been a malfunction. So now we have something negative. So we cannot say also, but we're going to say however, for example. We need a linking word that shows something negative now. However, when I used the machine the second time, not it seemed, but there seemed to have been a malfunction, not while the rinse, you've got a noun here, so during the rinse cycle, the clothes still had quite a lot of soap in them. When I have taken, present. No, you need the past tense. So when I took them out. So as you can see, these are mistakes that we do just because we rush. So we have to be very careful. Let's continue with the letter. So in the third paragraph now, furthermore, when I tried, look how it's written. Tried with an Y? No, you have to be very careful. So when I tried with an I, washing another load of laundry, the same thing happened. In addition to this, the machine did not hit. Look how hit is written. We've got a spelling mistake. Hit, but with an E-A, not with an I. It did not hit the water to the right temperature. However, I had turned the dial to 50. We cannot start with this linking word. We need another one, like for example, even though or although. I had turned the dial to 50 degrees Celsius. The water in the machine remained cold throughout the entire cycle. I, look how I is written. We need, of course, a capital. I assume you will replace the washing machine as it is obviously wrong. The washing machine is wrong. We can say as it is probably malfunctioning. So we said that we're trying to use a more advanced vocabulary. I hope the matter will resolve promptly. Okay? So I hope the matter will resolve, or I hope the matter resolves. We need a present simple. Yours faithfully. How do we write faithfully? Double L. Be careful. Yours faithfully. And of course, our name cannot be with a small letter. It has to be with a capital letter. So, you can open now your books. You can find which is the homework that you're given in your course book. You have the model here, and I would like you to do it as a homework and present it to your teacher. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.